Hey guys, welcome back to the DWF. It's your host, Dan WrestleFan here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Today we are going to do something a little bit different. We've got the backstage area set up here. We've got the little scene, backstage scene. We've got this random generic cartoon wrestling guys going at it. We're going to put like a logo, DWF logo here, or maybe like a pictures of champions or something here. We'll change that up. I just wanted to get this set up and I wanted to do this because we're going to do something new today. Something that I give credit to The Undertaker for this, for his Mount Rushmore list, and that is something I've been wanting to do here on this channel for a little while. However, I didn't know when a good time to do it was. I figure now with the new year, no better time than the present. Let's just get into it. So that's what we're doing. Today we are going to do, based off The Undertaker's recent list, we're going to do our top 4 Mount Rushmore of big men. So I'm going to put my list up here with my figures, showing them off. I would love to see your guys' lists. What are your top 4 big men? Either leave it in the comments below, or make a video showing off the figures, or just talking about who your top 4 big men are. And then just let me know in the comments, hey, I did this video, check it out. Because I love watching videos that you guys do in response to or inspired by my videos. I absolutely love it. That's probably my favorite thing to do on YouTube now. Whenever you guys create videos of something that I did or something I talked about, and you're like, hey, check this out, I just did this video. I love checking those out. Like, that's easily my favorite thing to do on YouTube. But anyway, no further ado, let's get into the list. My number 4 pick on my Mount Rushmore of big men has got to be the Big Show. This is probably the most controversial person I'm going to put on this list, but I mean, he's done it. He's done everything you want a big man to do. Like, what hasn't? Well, okay, I'm not going to say what hasn't the Big Show done. I'm setting myself up if I say that one. I almost fell for that trap. But the Big Show has done so much for the industry. He was the big, like, who's your big man now? Is it Omos? He hasn't done much. Is it Braun Strowman? I could argue that Braun Strowman should go on a Mount Rushmore, but him being let go and then they brought him back now, but he's not doing much for the company. Like, he's just, I don't know. I feel like Braun Strowman would be a lesser version of the Big Show. I originally thought I was going to put Braun Strowman up here, and then I clicked, like, duh, Big Show. That's the guy who I'm looking for, because he's had a good long career as a big man, doing all the big man stuff, all the stunts. I mean, he's not the best. We'll get into who I think the best is, but I think Big Show definitely earns a spot in the Mount Rushmore for big men in wrestling. He's been absolute team player. He has been multiple time champion. I just don't think you could argue. I mean, you could, like I said, this is my most controversial one. I think you could argue a reason why Big Show shouldn't be on here, but I think it's hard to argue why Big Show shouldn't be on here. So with that, getting into my number, I guess going reverse order, number 3 position, I'm going to put Kane. I mean, you got to have Kane. Kane's got to be, if you're doing a Mount Rushmore of big men, you've got to have Kane on the list. I don't know how you could not have Kane on the list. He's definitely earns his spot. He did such good solo work and such good tag team work. I don't think this one's really that controversial. This is kind of the basic answer. Like, I think a lot of people would put Kane on the list, and you have every right to do it. He's been in comedic roles and been hilarious. His backstage segment with The Rock and Hogan was freaking hilarious when he starts going into the whole Rock's speech. All his work with Undertaker has been absolutely amazing. The whole anger management with Daniel Bryan was beautifully done. I don't think Kane has had he's had way less failures than he's had successes, even though some of them look like they should have been. He's had some bad looks that looked like they should have been failures, but he's been good, and his corporate Kane gimmick was really good. He's been a top guy for for WWE, and this is easily why he's a legend. I mean, he has failed very little in any role he was given, Kane definitely earns a spot on the Mount Rushmore for me at number 3. If we're talking big men, coming in at number 2, it's the biggest and baddest of the bunch, Andre the Giant. Do I need to say any more? I think we can just wrap this up. Number 2, Andre the Giant. Okay, we'll say a little bit more. Uh, Andre the Giant was, I mean, he's literally the icon of big men. As soon as you say you're putting together a Mount Rushmore of big men, successful uh, career big men, very first person I thought of was Andre the Giant. In fact, he was my number 1 until I thought of someone else. But he was my number 1. Is like, it's got to be Andre. Andre's number. He is big man. He's what made big man wrestling, right? Like he's the icon of the big man in wrestling. Sure, he wasn't the best wrestler. I'm not gonna put him in my Mount Rushmore of best wrestlers ever. He might be in my Mount Rushmore of favorites. He might be one of my favorite wrestlers ever. That would be tough though. That's gonna be a tough one when we get to our Mount Rushmore of favorites. That's gonna be really tough to do. But he probably makes my top 10, top 15 guaranteed, probably top 10. But I love Andre. He's one of the greatest. Um, Again, iconic big man when you think big man. Big matches with Hogan. Uh, really helped Hogan, in my opinion. You know what? I really wish we could have gotten a, like, Andre and who's another big man today. I'm trying to think of any like current big man that would be good today that we could have like a dream match, Andre and someone. I don't know who today I'd want to see him go against. Maybe like Andre and Sheamus. Sheamus isn't really a big man though. I wouldn't classify Sheamus as a big man, but Andre's definitely earned his spot. There's multiple dream matches I'd love to see. I'd love to see like Andre the Giant versus Daniel Bryan, a real like David and Goliath sort of thing. I think that would be that would be a barn burner of a match. Let Daniel Bryan, I mean, maybe like 2012 to 2015 Daniel Bryan, let him run around with all his energy, do most of the work, let him carry the match, but Andre just hits the few moves where he needs to, just plant him, stop him in his tracks. Give me a good Andre in 2012 through 2015 Daniel Bryan. But yeah, number 2 is Andre the Giant. And our number 1 wrestler for our Mount Rushmore of big men. If you guys didn't see this one coming, I mean, how didn't you see this one? It's got to be Undertaker. The streak I mean, that really, that's the only thing you need. The streak speaks for itself. I think his last match with Daniel Bryan with AJ Styles, that graveyard match, I think that was pretty phenomenal. Pun intended. I think that was a phenomenal match. Going back and watching it again, they filmed it all in one night. That was a lot of. They had to move quick to film all that and everything. But I mean, that was absolutely the way to go out. Go out in a match like that, a pre-recorded match where you can take your time a little bit and it's not live. That is absolutely the best way they could have sent The Undertaker off. That was absolute beautiful graveyard match. But I mean, come on, this guy's been multiple time champion. He's a legend that is he the last true no, I guess John Cena. Who is more popular by reputation in WWE, John Cena or Undertaker? I mean, I think if you ask the average person on the street, I think they'll recognize John Cena from movies more than they will wrestling, and Undertaker you only know from wrestling. That's the Undertaker from wrestling. John Cena because of wrestling, but most likely him from movies. Just people that I work with had no idea who Batista was until Guardians of the Galaxy. And they're like, oh yeah, he's that guy in Guardians of the Galaxy. It's like, yeah, but he was a wrestler. Oh, he was? Yeah, he was a wrestler before that. So there are some people that they're not wrestling fans. They don't know the world. Like, everyone knows The Rock from wrestling and from movies. Like, they know that. I assume people probably make the connection for John Cena. that there's like, oh yeah, he was a wrestler, but I don't know how many people still associate him with with the name John Cena. Think like, oh yeah, wrestling. I think Undertaker is way more unanimous now in the wrestling world. Is like, yeah, am I making sense, or am I just, I don't know. I could be in my own head right here, but anyway, point being, number one Mount Rushmore has to be Undertaker. So there's my Mount Rushmore, guys, of big men in wrestling. They've done the work, they have proven themselves, and I think these four round out my Mount Rushmore. Neymar, what do you think? You up here to share your thoughts and opinions? You want to let us know what you think? Anyway, guys, let me know what your Mount Rushmore is. Leave it in the comments below, and we'll see you next time. Bye!